So let us look at Article 5, Paragraph 1 of the India-USA Treaty. And this deals with a fixed place PE. This is the most common form of PE which has been dealt with for years and years and decades, right? And in most cases, it is this form of PE which was relevant until maybe last 10 years ago. But with the change in the business model that is happening, right? Somewhere other forms of PE have also gained large amount of recognition. Let's look at this article. For the purposes of this convention, which means for the purpose of this particular treaty, right, and not for the purpose of Income Tax Act. You cannot apply the meaning of PE which is given in the treaty for the purposes of Income Tax Act. Like I said, in some cases, definition of PE is given for transfer pricing purposes specifically, which we looked at earlier. The term permanent establishment means. Now, the use of the word means indicate that this definition is exhaustive, right? Unless and until you get something contrary to this in the subsequent paragraph of Article 5. A fixed place of business. Let's look at each of these words independently. First, fixed place. When I say a fixed place, this could be in the form of an office, or it could even be in the form of an equipment, right? So let's say, for example, for oil industry, there are oil rigs which are provided by various foreign companies, right? Those rigs are stationed at a particular place and they extract oil out of it. Even that rig could be construed as a fixed place of business. There are various vending machines which at one point in time were owned by various foreign companies and they were kept in various offices. What you were required to do, or even today they are existing in many of these offices, you just put in a coin, the machine is going to pull out whatever you order, and that's about it. Even that vending machine could be a fixed place of business. When you say a fixed place of business, again, the second question which comes up is, should it be fixed at a particular place? Or if I'm carrying out certain activities within a particular geographical area, can it be said that even that amounts to a fixed place of business? Now that is known as generally a geographical coherence. We're going to understand this in the next few slides. But like I said, for fixed place of business, it need not necessarily be an office. Even an equipment or a machinery can be a fixed place of business. Second, fixed place need not necessarily refer to a particular point. It can even refer to a particular geographical area where the activities of the foreign company are predominantly carried on. Now, what is the fixed place of business? Now, that eternal debate in terms of, whether business includes profession. Generally, a profession would not be included in business unless what you are carrying on alongside your profession has the nature of being a commercial activity. Now, what I mean by this is that, let's say we'll take in a case of a doctor. A doctor not only provides consultancy, but if he is also providing X-ray services for which he's purchased or leased certain machines, right? And he's providing those services to his client, the income from consultancy will be income from profession, something which could be covered in the Independent Personal Services Clause. But the income from that particular X-ray machinery will be income from business, right? Through which, what does this word through mean? What this means is that when we refer to a fixed place, the business which we are considering should be carried on through that place. There's no point having a fixed place of business, right, from where the business is not carried on. So let's say if there is a liaison office that is there. A liaison office is a fixed place of business, right? But it is not the business which is carried out from there. What is carried out are certain activities which are preparatory or auxiliary in nature. So even though it will get covered as a fixed place, right, generally we can say that from that particular place, the business of the enterprise is not carried on. It's only dissemination of information, which may be a part of business. I mean, one school of thought is that why should that not be a business, right? Because it is also a part of business without which the revenue generation may not happen. But if you are having an office through which the business is not carried on, it cannot be construed as a PE. The business of the enterprise and enterprise. Now, what does this signify? The word "and" signifies here that when you are looking at the concept of a PE, you have to look at it entity by entity, right? I cannot say that between 10 companies, 10 foreign companies, there is an office which is available, right? Now, this office will be construed as a PE of all the 10 companies. No, you need to see it on an entity by entity basis. The concept of a group PE in India at least is not recognized until now, is wholly or partly. You may carry on the entire business from such a place, you may carry on some part of the operations. If you carry on some part of the operations, there has to be an attribution of income which needs to be done, and accordingly tax will be leviable on the proportionate income. For this, you should refer back to Article 7, which is business profit. Carried on. What is the meaning of carried on? Carried on signifies that the activity should be more than something which is casual in nature. There has to be some form of continuity. A one-off activity would generally not result in a PE unless the nature of business is as such.